Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Bloodborne, where the ending of the game is waiting for us. It is waiting for us directly through those gates. We are going to put it off for a little bit longer. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this or not, but I figured I got the materials. Let's at least do the next Chalice dungeon. Might as well. Go to the fourth. Like I've done the Pthumeru Chalice and the Root Chalice a couple times. Oh. Have I really used up all of my blood echoes to a remarkable extent? Yes, I have. I'm just gonna sell some stuff that I don't use. What can I sell that I don't use? Bullets! Not enough, though. Let us get some more bullets from our stash. What are bullets under? Thought I had more than just 20 bullets. Oh yeah, here we go. How many echoes did I need? I need like 1,000. Or was it 1,500? 1,800. Okay, that's fine. We've got more bullets we could sell. An auspicious start. To today's, but because like I spent all of my money on all of my echoes on blood vials. I used so many blood vials fighting the Orphan of Kos. I burned through at least 200 of them during my attempts. And I did not feel like spending the time to farm for blood vials again, so I just used up all of my echoes on blood vials. Restored myself to like, I think 195 in the stash, plus whatever I'm carrying on my person. Let us conduct this ritual, go into this part of the dungeon. See what mysteries remain, and how interested we are in actually continuing the Chalice experience after this point. If we are, but it also seems like this, like the Chalice dungeon system is a lot of extra busy work. Like, if it was like a roguelike mode or an arcade mode, or like a series of procedurally generated areas, I think it might also make it more well-received, rather than just kind of a maze of pre-constructed boxes that you have to find resources in order to properly access. And like that might be the bigger issue, is because you have to constantly... I've fought you in this place before. In which you're kind of going through a lot of very similar areas over and over again. Ah, there's a bell lady. Now, and that's the thing, like, before I had said something along the lines of, like, you don't necessarily need to explore that much, and as it turns out, I was wrong. Oh my gosh. You kind of have to explore for the sake of finding materials that you could use to access the next set of Chalice dungeons. Now, if I was playing this online, like, that would be a different story. Ooh, also, this is not a bad way to farm blood vials. If I was playing this online, at the very least, this would mean I would probably be able to access certain chalice dungeons faster, and also different specific types of dungeons with specific enemies. But because I'm playing it offline due to my terrible internet connection, I don't really have the ability to search for people's randomized types. So I don't know exactly how far into this chalice dungeon thing I'm going to get. But like I said, like, I have the materials. Ritual Blood 3. We have only collected up to Ritual Blood 2. Yeah, I have the materials. This is a dungeon of convenience. Not to mention, this is nice and easy after going through the finale of Old Hunters and fighting the Orphan of Kos, which was an ordeal, but I survived. I did not count how many attempts it took. Like, you can still count yourself how many attempts it took me, because I didn't really leave that out of the video, but it took, like, probably, like, a whole hour of just fighting him over and over and over again. But then, he is the finale. He's the final boss of that area. So, you can't call him a nightmare if he's a pushover. Oh, back here. Alright, let us head into these doors. And I suppose what's neat about the... Like, I feel like the Chalice dungeons could have been really, really cool. Like, maybe, like, because they have unique bosses, more specifically. But maybe it's, like, the collection of the resources in order to access them. Maybe it's the kind of obscure methodology of accessing them. Like, what if all you needed was the chalice? Oh. Beast-possessed soul. That's a long combo. All too easy. I'm okay with this, though. Let's see, that's where I came from? Oh wait, no, both sides have steps going up. Now they're really trying to confuse me. Okay, this is... And then there's a door that I believe goes to layer 3. It's kind of interesting how you can actually just skip over large parts of the maze, if you so choose. Hello? I didn't remember this game even having Scorpion-esque enemies. I guess they were just reserved for the Chalice dungeons. Yeah, I wonder what else they could have done to make the Chalice dungeons just as interesting, like, and replayable as the main game. Because the main game is very replayable. People have been replaying Bloodborne over and over again, but not necessarily the Chalice dungeons. Like, is it the grid system that holds it back? The fact that, like, every Chalice dungeon well, I suppose I've only kind of gone through the Pthumeru dungeons. I haven't really progressed past that point. Oh, you jerk. Some Ritual Blood 3. Maybe it's because you're collecting resources named Ritual Blood 3? Seems kind of as generic as they come. Oh, there's nothing down here. Also, I hear a lot of stomping around, so I'm sure there's... Oh, hello. You're slightly different. Let us fight. Is that that's a regular skeleton man. It's not a sack boy. Ah, here are the sack boys. Yeah, they only deliver you to a location once. After that point, they're like, you know, we're not really interested in transporting this hunter around. We've already transported this hunter once. No more free rides directly to our prison that's filled with open doors and easily escapable cells. Not after the first free ticket. Let's see. There was another door up top here. And yeah, like, as you're going through some of these areas in, like, the same theme of dungeon, a lot of these areas do start to feel similar. Have I been... Like each... Like, there are very few sets of rooms. And I wonder if I ever... make it to, like, the farther sections. Oh, hello. Will I see different room types, or the same room types, but with different textures? Though, to be fair, I want to say the whole procedurally generated roguelike thing was still, like, in its infancy by the time Bloodborne came out. Like, I don't think Rogue Legacy had even been released by this point, let alone the pioneers in the genre, such as Hades and... I don't know, I'm not really that big into that genre myself. The straight-up roguelikes. I've played Hades. Some of Enter the Gungeon, but I've never finished it. That's one game I would like to actually play more of, but progress seems very tricky in that one versus Hades. Hades is very kind to you in regards to progress. I never really liked Rogue Legacy. Keeper of the Old Lords. You're new? Are you busy keeping the old lords? Where are you keeping them? Oh, are you, coating your blade with fire so that when you swing your sword, bees come out of your sword? Are you coating your blade with bees so that when you swing your sword, bees come out of it? The central root chalice. Ugh. I see a lot of busy work in the future of a chalice dungeon sprint. That's the issue I have with the chalice dungeon. It's just a lot of busy work, a lot of collecting of ritual blood, wandering through very similar looking halls, fighting relatively similar looking enemies, without quite as much payoff. And maybe that's the thing. Like, you jerk. Like, with the main game, you're always collecting stuff. You're picking stuff up, adding it to your collection. Oh, hello. I'm sorry I stabbed your alarm clock. No, get back here. I'll stab you. Well. Ow. More like slice, dice, chop. Chop you. Yeah, more ritual blood 3 for my ritual bloodening. Anything interesting in here? Like this area? Ooh, more ritual blood 3. Like you're either finding gems that aren't. I was gonna say, what the hell is all this noise? Oh, they're boulders. All right. Got some boulder dash. Anything interesting in this direction? No, it looks more or less just like death. Okay. Ah, a sack boy. Along with other... unrelated stuffs. Just a lot of little treasures. Sage's wrist. Are you a weapon? Are you a weapon, Sage? Sage's wrist. Are you key? Or are you a material? A special material used in a holy chalice ritual. Body part of a saint sacrificed by the Healing Church in their search for the truth. The additional rite, fetid offering, invigorates the watchers, making them more treacherous than normal, but also making them worthy prey for a special hunt. Alright. But still kind of fits the bill of, like, getting a lot of items that have very specific use only for the Chalice Dungeon. Ritual Blood 3. You know, Ritual Blood 3 is not as good of a movie as Ritual Blood 1 or 2. Ritual Blood 2 was a solid follow-up. Or a liquid follow-up. Tomb Mold, wow. Yeah, and that's the thing, it's like, are you supposed to get excited for the material or for what you can do with the material? And if you don't really know what you're supposed to do with the material just yet, shall we wait for a boulder? Is that a door over there? It is a door over here. There are some people up there who are having a very hard time breathing, it seems. Also, I didn't realize as I was exploring the earlier areas that these tiny chests have stuff. I thought those tiny chests were just background details. But no, they actually can be opened, because you never find these tiny chests in the main game. Like, I thought they were just kind of strange background details for the Chalice Dungeon itself. But no, more stuff. Hello? Alright. That was neat. Oh, hello. Sackboy tried to get to me. Let's try this path. Ooh, blood vials. I could always use those. And yep, here we go. We have another one of those, of this tile set. Like, maybe that's the issue. Maybe they just needed to have created more variety in regards to the tile sets. Does not open from this side. Because there's so much repetition that you can kind of see the same room multiple times in the same dungeon. Hello? Oh, this is still not... This is still not the switch room. But it has the fancy treasure. And you know it's the fancy treasure because it makes the fancy treasure noise when you open it up. That, like, you can find multiple fancy treasures per area. Was there anything else for me to do? Can I just drop down there and do stuff? Where even is down there? Oh yeah, there was that other path. We don't need to worry about doubling back just yet, because... Hello. Okay, there wasn't that much in this direction. Just some fire paper, of which I've never used. Should I have been using fire paper? Is fire paper the secret master strategy? Oh, have I not gone through that door? Because it's locked. Is there another path? Nope, that just drops off over there. I'm gonna drop down here, see where it goes, you know? Why not? Oh, I've been here before. This is right before the boulder. That was not a bad idea. Because now I can easily turn around and go back. And also remember... Oh, I don't think I've been through here. Because the door is closed. Of course I haven't been through there. Is this area so big it needs multiple lamps? Okay, who's so upset? Somebody sounds very upset out here. Hello? You will reap nothing. Oh, hello. You will also be reaping nothing. Ah, some more Sage's wrist for my wrist needs. Oh, look, it's this room again. Oh. I circled around. That's what happened. Well then, let's carry on in this direction then. Find some more ritual blood of increasing qualities. Some more tomb mold. And other items. I don't need to summon Prospector Oleg. Although I probably kind of should, because why not? Like, how often am I going to be down in the Chalice dungeons anyway? Let alone without Prospector Oleg by my side? How many times has anybody summoned Prospector Oleg at all? Maybe Prospector Oleg is getting very lonely. Okay, let's take care of you first. And then you. And then you. See, Prospector Oleg wouldn't be able... Oh, hello. Wouldn't be able to handle these strategies, but I guess there must be a bellwoman. Oh, is this another? One of these rooms? Yeah, would be a definite... Hello. Oh, you dropped something? Blood vials, excellent! This will help us in the upcoming Blood Vial Wars. Somewhere, a door to the old labyrinth has opened. That took way too many tries. Alright, so now we can fight the final boss of this set of Chalice dungeons, which means essentially we've only unlocked access now to the central Pthumeru layer. And if that's the case, then I'll probably just call it with the Chalice dungeons here. And then maybe one day, like with the Bloodborne remaster, when that comes out, positive thinking. That's how you manifest, with positive thinking. When the Bloodborne remaster comes out, I'll do the Chalice dungeon, or maybe I'll just do the Chalice dungeons separately as like a separate playthrough. But for now, let us just go and fight this last boss of this Chalice dungeon before we move on to Gehrman, who will be, in contrast, much more difficult than these folks are. But also less difficult than the Orphan of Cause. Probably because of a lower health bar. More than anything else. Like, the Orphan of Cause has a lot of health. It is a struggle of attrition on one's psyche. Who are you? Pthumerian descendant. Oh, he has a second phase. Isn't that adorable? Thinking he's a real Bloodborne villain. Oh, lower Pthumeru Chalice as well. Like I said, I've based on what I've read, like, there are faster ways to access all of the Chalice dungeon aspects. And maybe that's also another reason why the Chalice dungeons always get sidelined. Is because it takes a while. Like, if you just do them in the order that the game presents them to you in, like, it takes a long while to get to that point. Like, right now I can toss down Central Route and Lower. Alright, let us go to the finale of the game, with the promise to one day return to the Chalice Dungeon. Gehrman, what have you to offer us? Also, why did you burn down your house? That was your house. That's where you were staying. And it's not even doing a very good job of burning down. Like, it's just in perpetual burning.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end. Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun. You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
I refuse. Oh, so you've become drunk on the... Oh, hold on. Oh, so you've become drunk on the blood.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream?
How many Bloodborne villains do you find in a terrible state who just kind of like slowly stagger to their feet and suddenly become like the fastest like villains for you to fight against? Like Lady Maria is just kind of sitting and bleeding. The King Laurent, the king over in Canehurst.
Gehrman joins the hunt.
Yes, 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 I'm aware. All right. Not entirely sure what move that was. Yeah, I forget how fast he is. Like, in comparison, like, the moon presence after him is not too hard to deal with. And now you've got a gun! Ah. Nope. Back away. But that's fine. Thankfully, the gun doesn't seem to actually do much damage. Well, the gun by itself wouldn't. Like, the parry afterwards. Did he just parry my dodge? Yeah, he can parry your dodge. Oh. He can parry all of your actions, I think. Which is not cool. Not cool at all, Gehrman. Ah. Damn it. I feel like there are a lot... There are a lot of enemies in this game that... Let me rephrase. There are too many enemies in this game who FromSoft makes more difficult just because they break your lock. Like, if they didn't break your lock, like, having to scramble to re-lock on them is its own ordeal. It is very hard to see your blood vials, or sorry, your blood echoes on this field. I do not see... Shit. Oh, there we go. Okay, that is what that move does. It's hard to tell when it's... Nope, nope. Can you please dodge eventually, sir?
You must accept your death.
Okay, so he doesn't have as many hit points as Orphan of Cause, but he moves, I think, faster. He has like a almost instant dodge, an instant like leap forward, which is harder to predict. And I find that I have a tougher time specifically with moves that have a very slow startup. Nope. Yeah, and his benefit is having an extreme reach. Like, this game definitely limits... limits your range. So giving somebody an edge on you... Oh my god. I tried to, not to mention easy two-hit combo. Like, I wish you were able to recover from that. Otherwise, it's basically just two cheap hit, like a cheap hit. Okay, this has been a very terrible attempt. Oh my gosh. Like, nope, this is too far. Oh. At least I did get hit by the first hit. But I still got to be attacked by the second. It would be nice if, like, you can stagger him out of that. Ah, there we go. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice change of pace. Nope, nope. Nope. Oh my gosh. There we go. Top ourselves off, why not? No, no, back up, back up. There we go. Oh, no. That was lucky. Oh, that time he didn't get staggered out of that. Great. It's like I see the attack. But I'm just too slow. Oh. Ah. Alright, that was good timing on that one, actually. Oh, no, it's not that he can interrupt you out of everything. His gun just automatically interrupts you. It is just a magic gun now. No. No. Ah. Oh. I'm stuck against the geometry. That is not good. There we go. What can I do to induce that specific attack? Alright, well now he's got his gun out again. Top ourselves off. No? I feel like the level geometry is saving me a lot from his follow-up attacks. Yep. Or is that like a specific bullet type he has? Nope. One more hit. I lied. One more hit. There we go. Now then. I only have 8 blood vials left. But that might be enough. Because the moon presence isn't as bad. I still haven't gotten the second ending. I've gotten the ending where you give in to Gehrman, and I've gotten the ending where you have all the 3, like the true ending, the slug ending, but never the one in between. Hello, how are you? Well, I said you were not as bad. That 8 vials was enough. Are you going to make a liar out of me? Oh my gosh. What son of a... Oh, now I get it. Like, he's got an attack that literally brings you down to nothing. But you have to essentially replenish your health by attacking him. Oh, I can't even use my vials. Who even needs vials? Nope, still can't. Are you just unable to at all? Doesn't matter. He's done. We have slain another nightmare and have finished the game. Huzzah!
Are you cold? Oh, good hunter.
And now we have become a slug. Or whatever that is. I have no idea what that means. But no, that was Bloodborne. Still great. I still there's okay. I suppose I might as well not. Everybody already. If you're watching this, you already like Bloodborne. So I might as well just pick on the things that I have not necessarily cared for. Let's get that out of the way. And the first, blood vials. Having to farm blood vials. It doesn't really add to the game. And like if you always had that set amount of blood vials, like the Estus flask, like making blood vials a consumable item that you have to find and collect does not really add to the gameplay experience. Like if you look at Demon's Souls 1. Like Demon's Souls had a variety of health pickups you could acquire, and each health pickup filled your health to a different degree. You had your lesser grasses, your medium grasses, I forget what they were called at the moment, but it creates more of a meaningful item collection because, one, they all work at different levels. So like if you're using a healing item in the middle of battle, each healing item takes about the same amount of time to utilize. So do you use one of your more plentiful grasses that heals less because you have more of it, or do you use one of your, like your half moon grass, because that's going to fill up more of your health bar? And there's just one type of blood vial. You're not collecting, well, to be fair, there's one main type of blood vial. There's also Iosefka's blood vials. There's also Andrea's blood vials. Is that her name? I forget the name of the girl in the church. There's her blood vials as well. But you only can get like one of those. You can only carry one of Iosefka's blood vial on your. So I never really considered it a resource in the same way blood vials are. So because you just have one main type of blood vial, like the act of collecting them and reacquiring them, especially in those early playthroughs of mine, when I was still first kind of learning the basics. Like, I still would not consider myself an expert Bloodborne player. I would say I am average. I do well enough to get by, but there's still a lot I can learn about the game itself. Let alone, whether it's like how the different areas progress based on the phases of the moon, also other weapons. But anyway, like in my first couple playthroughs, like I found myself very low on blood vials because I just didn't farm any, and I had to stop playing the game in order to collect more blood vials, which, like, that feels like it's something that would impact the game experience. My belief is that players should always be able to progress, and the only thing holding them back would be their own skill. And I would argue that Bloodborne is one of those kinds of games. Though I suppose blood vials are basically kind of like, I mentioned this, the collection of blood vials is like collect a whole bunch of blood vials or get good. In theory, you could defeat the Orphan of Kaz without getting hit a single time. But you'd have to be a much better player than me to do so. And that leads me to point number 2, is that, like, as your defense never really feels like it increases that much. Your attack does. And you can see this by going to previous areas. But, like, you always kind of feel like glass. Your character, especially as you get to tougher areas, like the Orphan of Kaz takes like 2 or 3 hits to kill you. 2 to 4. 2 to 4 is a fairer choice. There are some enemies that can just wipe you out outright with one lucky charge, and like I imagine Bloodborne is not meant to be the power fantasy that is Dark Souls, but if the idea of Bloodborne is that you would always take hits and then reacquire your health back, like, and if an enemy kills you in like one hit, then that negates that entire gameplay mechanic. And also makes your own character feel very brittle. But, like, would those be my main areas? Yeah, I think those two would be essentially my main complaint. Like, with Souls games, like, you spend, no matter what you level up in, you're always increasing your defense. And I don't think the same thing happens with Bloodborne. Like, you don't really increase your defense quite as much. But, like, everything else, well, okay, so we have things I can complain about, things that aren't really complaints, but, like, the story, I don't know, it's there. I don't necessarily feel my character's motivations. Who is even my character? What is the Hunter's Nightmare? What have I become in the end? Why am I a slug now? It's unclear. You just kind of go with it.
Begin the transfusion.
But the level design, the architecture, the art, the act of moving, of putting one foot in front of the other, the mechanics of combat, when it hits that sweet spot, and it does very often in regards to just exploring and fighting bad guys. This game is top tier. And I feel as though Sony is, like, somebody at Sony has to be knowledgeable about the idea that at least some gamers out there want a Bloodborne remaster. Bloodborne has... Is it even a cult-like following? Is the amount of people who have become fans of Bloodborne due to its presence in the Soul series, is it greater than that of a cult? I would imagine so. But it has maintained its steadfast devotees over the years. And for good reason. Because it is a solid game. It is an excellent game. Let's switch to weapons, at least for these last few minutes. And it would be nice if some... Like, I don't know what's preventing a remaster from necessarily happening. Is it Sony not pitching the money? Is it FromSoft not having time on their schedule? Is there something about Bloodborne's engine we don't know about? Like how Dark Souls 2 tied all the animations to the frame rate. With Bloodborne, the frame rate is 30 FPS. Like, how do we know that the like the frame rate isn't hard coded into the game itself? as there is no PC version to compare it to. Like, I would like to think the only things that are holding this game back from getting remastered is just somebody up there in corporate just needs to hit a button. And like a big old go button, and money is transferred. Like, what would it take, like, for this to move forward? Like, you'd think after the Demon's Souls remake. Though I suppose we don't know what Blue Point Studios is doing ever since they were bought out by Sony. But I digress. I'm digressing at this point. For now, though, got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.